So welcome back to Funner to Do It. Today we are doing the finishing touches as far as the trolling motor goes. I'm going to stick with the original cable operated trolling motor just because I want to see the feel of it, see how I like it, see if I really want to go to a GPS or not. But that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be mounting that trolling motor to the front of this John boat. So stay tuned and we'll get right back with you. The first issue that we have with this John boat is you build a deck like this and you don't really have access to the underneath anymore. You know, a lot of the to bolt it, you can lag bolt it. There's really nothing to screw it into. If you have a deck, you probably a little bit have thicker wood to be able to screw into. This one we really don't. I don't have access to the underneath. So what I picked up were these. What these are is these are hollow anchors that you use for drywall, but there's a little bit something special about this one. For starters, each one of these holds 137 pounds. So between the two of them, let's just say 100 pounds. You got 400 pounds of holding weight between the four bolts that are going to hold my bracket down. And then the extra, whatever it is, 60, 120, you got about 500 pounds of weight that these things can support. So they're going to be more than sturdy enough to hold this trolling motor. The other thing that's cool about it is that the way they're designed is they're on a peg like this. And what happens is this thing will flip down like that. And then when you're ready to, when you get into the hole, you pull it up and that thing will flip back and put your toggle into place. Then you've got that other end that can slide down onto this rod and it keeps that toggle in place in case you want to take your bolts off and you want to reuse it in the future. Unbolt it, bolt it again. So pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and use these on it. I've got one in. I'm going to show you how to install one so you can see how it's done. Okay, so if you see here, I've already got one installed. I did kept the little tang on it. You're supposed to cut that off when you're done. I kept it on for now just so you can see it until I get the other ones off, then I'll do them all. I did go through and pilot hole all of my holes for my bracketry. Now I'm going to go through, and you do have to use a pretty big drill bit. Go through with a 1/2-inch drill bit, open up that hole. Okay, so now remember I do have plywood here and aluminum decking. So I do have the aluminum front on here. So I am going into the aluminum portion of it too. So this should be super strong. Go ahead, get rid of the schnitlets. Clean the hole out a little bit. Like I said, you take this, feed it through that hole. It does go through. And then when you're done, you hear it snap. Then you just take that, push it all the way down into that hole. Boom, and now I got my 2 supporting holes. Pretty cool. And then I got my actual lag bolts that will hold the bracket down. I like it. Let's get the other ones done. All right, they're all in. I'm just gonna take my side cutters now and snip off the excess. It says you're supposed to be able to just break these off, but hey, I got the side cutters here. I'm gonna just make sure it's a nice clean cut. Here's my bracket now. All 4 holes lined up just fine. I'm gonna use a lock nut and a washer on each one of them now. Now you could use regular bolts too, but I may regret it in the future, but think it'll work? We'll find out. It might be a fun video on the water when that thing flies off, but I think it'll hold. Let's see how it fits. I don't have it completely mounted onto the trolling motor because I'm going to have to drill some holes, but I do want to see if the placement is going to work. I did dry fit it beforehand, so I think it should fit, but let's just go ahead and slide it on there and see how it fits. There we go. Put the pin in. That's looking pretty good to me. So I have one bolt in it. So I'll have to drill a couple of holes in here for the rest of them in order to make it fit. But other than that, it's pretty good. I already tested this out. It's really dirty. I do have to clean this one. This is the original one that came with the boat. I tell you, I was originally going to go with, I'll put a link down in the description to it. I didn't buy it though. I don't want to go with anything other than the Minn Kota when I'm spending that kind of money. I mean, I did buy a 55 horse that was a aftermarket style, if you want to call it, off of there, but I only paid $100 for that one, so I really wasn't too concerned about that. But they do have the full remote control. It is not a GPS unit, but they do have a full remote control. I believe it's by Aquos. Not Aquos, it's by, I can't remember what the name brand is. But it is a handheld remote control. But it's $600. $600, $650, I think, for what I wanted, because I wanted the hand control and I wanted a foot pedal for it, so I had a little bit of both worlds. And I think once you add that foot control in there, it tickles $650, $700. And to be honest with you, that is getting pretty pricey for it. The reviews on it are all okay, but not confident enough for me to go ahead and spend that kind of money on it, especially since I don't have GPS on it. You know, if you go to a Minn Kota, you can probably, for I think it's about $1,200, you can upgrade to the GPS with spot lock. So I'm going to run with this one right now, see how I like it. I've had one other foot control before. I've never used it too much. I've used it a little bit. See how I like it, because really, spot lock would be nice. So we'll see how much I'm really going to actually use it and if it's going to be really handy for me. So until then, I'm going to get this one cleaned up, get it mounted, and then we'll use it a little bit, maybe for the summer. Maybe if I like it, we'll just stick with these cable operated ones. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and get these drilled and mounted to this plate so I can finish this mount up, and then we can get the battery box wired up. Word of caution when you're doing these, my deck has a little upward slide to it. Be careful taking it off because I gouged my deck. I'm gonna go ahead and wash and feed my trolling motor wire through the battery cable. This is what I got off of Amazon. This is duplex marine wire 8 AWG2 for running this trolling motor. Should be plenty of capacity to run this. So I'm just feeding it down my hole. I can get it to make that turn. Let's try it this way. There we go. And there we are. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I did buy some of these covers for it just to protect it, and luckily for me it goes over my little gouge. So got some self-tapping gauge, get stainless here. I did check this too to make sure it clears underneath that, and it does. So let's cover as much of that gouge as I can. Can't believe I did that. These are self-tappers, which are nice. Let's do the last one real quick just to... There we go. And I should still be able to pull out enough of it. My foot pedal is going to go over there. So let's close this for now. I'm going to put the trolling motor on it. Try not to do any more damage than what I've already done. Officially the next day, I had to run to Bass Pro Shops to get myself a decent quality connector for the trolling motor. I want to make sure I can disconnect it when I want to take it off the boat. So we're going to go ahead and get everything prepared and get the connectors put onto the trolling motor. Pretty simple procedure of just cutting and splicing. So do the pedal first. I did cut back a little bit of this. I want to get a nice fresh piece of wire, because that pretty grimy. Doesn't matter which end. My handy little heat gun. You can use anything you want on this. I started using the heat gun because it doesn't char them up as much as like an aim-in flame. Just gives them a nice smooth melt. Got a nice little ooze out of it. That should be good. I'm gonna go through and tape it up too. I'm gonna wait to tape them up until I test it, just in case I have to take some of the connections off, but it should be good. But better to err on the side of caution. I'm gonna go ahead and get my battery hooked up inside of here, and we'll test this out and see if it works. Battery's in. This is a 100 amp hour lithium ion battery. I had this one on my Pelican. I'm pulling it out, putting it in here because the Pelican is probably just gonna be a little pond hopper right now. I don't need a whole hell of a lot of battery power on that one anymore. I won't be out on that one as much as I'll be out on this one. So the caveat on how this is set up, I do have my ground cut off here. I switched to kill power to the whole boat. I went through the electrical in one of my other ones, so everything else is in here. Is in another video on what's happening inside this battery box, but I do want to go over the trolling motor real quick with you and how I set that up. So the trolling motor, I have a switch that's at the back on my panel, and that will turn on the power to the trolling motor as far as allowing me to activate it. It's not going to power the trolling motor, it's just going to allow me to be able to power the trolling motor. And what that one does is that wire, that positive cable, that feed comes right up to this relay here. So this relay is here, and from the relay, I've also got a ground. So ground, and that goes back to the switch, and that will energize this relay. This relay is a high output relay. In order to be able to deliver the amount of amps that is required to run that trolling motor, because it is a 55 pound thruster, so you need about 55 to 60 amps that needs to be able to handle on it. I believe that is a 60 amp capable. That's a 120 amp circuit breaker. Relay, so it's more than enough power to handle it. From the circuit breaker, I am going to be delivering power. Sorry, we're going backwards. Power is going into the relay straight from the battery. So battery to relay. This is going to be the actual power, the high output amperage to the trolling motor. This power wire that I have here is going back to my fuse block, and everything is fused off of this one back at the fuse block. But right up here, this is power into the relay. When the relay is energized from the switch, it comes out and it goes up to this circuit breaker. The circuit breaker is a 60 amp circuit breaker. Power is coming in here straight from the battery, from the energized from the relay, comes out the bottom of it, and then that's what goes up to my trolling motor to run my trolling motor. Pretty simple setup, pretty easy to do. It's all done. I did test it. Everything is working properly. Battery box is ready to go. I got it strapped on here. I'm questioning whether or not the straps can be heavy enough. I may have to come around it with one this way too, but we're gonna see how it is. I don't have the straps for it right now anyways, so we're just gonna run with it the way it is right now on the first test run and see how it goes. So pretty cool. The battery box does have a light in it. I showed that in a previous video. All good to go. Trolling motor is ready. Trolling motor is 100% done. We got it mounted, we got it wired, we got the battery box finished up on it. So this portion of it is ready. The only thing we have left on this now is that motor. It's mounted. I did put a clip up here to hold the wire. Little secret here, this is one of them clips that you can buy from Harbor Freight. I can bend it backwards and forwards to actually get that off real quick. I got my connector on, I got my wires taped up, so I'm happy with it. My trolling motor pedal is ready to go. We're ready to go out fishing as long as I get a power pack to power this boat. I am going to start working on that right now. I do have the motor torn apart back there. I'm resealing the lower unit, and hopefully once that's done, it's going to go onto that water, onto that back of that boat, and we're going to take this out for a test run. So until then, hey, thank you for watching. Remember, like and subscribe. I'm really looking for those subscribers right now to get the channel up and rolling. So I would really appreciate if you like and subscribe. Until then, happy fishing.